Just when I was starting to miss you.
Tell me more about this mage from the Isle. Were you two close?
Never expected you'd take such an interest in my private life.
More interested to know if you bonded, as fellow magic practitioners.
Well, we had little in common in that arena. Oh, Alexander was one of those anxious experimenters, forever short on sleep. The kind that thinks perfect happiness is an isolated tower and a full set of vials and alembics.
Fyke Isle's free of its curse.
And you withheld this news until now? Why? I gave you a Xenovox. But the curse, what was its source?
The dark spell clung to the spirit of Annabelle, the Lord's daughter. To free her and the Isle, Graham, her beloved, had to help me.
So it ended well.
I lifted the curse, so the island's clear. Annabelle's soul is free. Thing is, turned out she's a pesta. Graham's dead.
And you failed to notice? You're losing your touch. Be that as it may, Fyke Isle is free of its curse. That's important. I'm almost inclined to say good work.
One thing's bothering me.
What?
Annabelle said Alexander was studying diseases. She mentioned Catriona. You knew this?
All the mages knew about it. Alexander was a highly regarded epidemiologist. I would have given anything for an opportunity to study his notes, but he guarded them jealously.
The lamp. What do you want to do with it?
As I said, you may keep it. I don't believe I shall need it anymore, given the Isle's been cleansed. I actually regret not going there with you. Perhaps we can make up for that lost time now.
All right. Time I was on my way.
Perhaps you'd stay just a bit longer? There's one small favour you might yet do for me.
What is it?
I put in an order for a few substances from Novigrad. The trader was due to be here yesterday, but has yet to arrive. Could you see what happened? The package is rather important to me.
Why not? If he was coming here from Novigrad, he must have passed through Blackbow. I'll check the area.
Thank you. I shall be ever so grateful.
Ask a service of the Witcher, the Pella must. A witcherly service, that's to say.
What do you need? Tell me.
A man who fears no evil the Pella needs. Forefathers' Eve is nigh. We've rites to conduct. Wandering souls to emerge. Damned souls, too. We've the circle to protect from these wretches.
Why hold the ritual at all?
At times men die choking with regret. At times death takes them before they've tasted any bitterness in life. These poor souls, unfulfilled, cannot leave this vale of tears. Their spirits wander midst the living, must be judged, sent on their way. This we do on Forefathers' Eve.
What'll I get out of it?
Witches do naught for free, this the Pella knows. Not to fear. How to reward one for their aid, this too the Pella knows.
Seems like you could use a witcher, so yeah, I'll help.
You'd not refuse, the Pella knew. The time's come to gather the folk. Across the lake we must journey, to Fyke Isle. There in the circle of stones we shall meet.
The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight at midnight.
Alrighty, where are the missing ingredients? There they are.
merchant's wagon. Ugly bastard. Downers and a water hag. Fizz. Not good.
Okay, so car tracks begin here. Let's follow them.
Veered off the road at high speed. Doesn't bode well. Yeah, merchant traveling across Velen alone. No way that was gonna end well. Cuts of meat. Cataplepis. Wonder what spell requires that.
Perhaps the Let's Seduce Geralt spell, but
Package still intact. Don't sense anything magic, though. Wonder how Kira will explain this one. A dry red from Zubaran. Southern slope. Notes of black currant and citrus. Human. From an artery. Can't be far. Wouldn't have made it. Waited for help. It never came. That's Velen for you.
Volker, we've hit gold, old friend. Not only have we sold all our stock, we have sold it for 3 times its cost. Our customer wants it all. Wine from Beclair, everything from Beaujolais, over. Don't make me pronounce French stuff. The oldest vintages, whites, reds, rosés, S's, you name it. Bass, meat, pickled beef, pepper, cinnamon, cloves. I'm telling you, old friend, everything. There's one catch, however. We must deliver the goods to Velen, to a village called Midcopse. I know, dangerous. What with the war and all, but think of the coin. I've managed to secure a pass that will get you across the Pontar. Then it's just a hop, skip and jump, and you're there. You'll be fine, Klaus. Yes, we'll split the proceeds 50-50 if you survive. Okay, so Kira wants a big feast with Geralt. I'm in for that.
Go, go.
It's a shame that the game has no auto-walking function like Red Dead Redemption. I just tried to use it. You press shift and then a horse follows the road, but at intersections, when the road splits, it will randomly choose the route. Even though we had to go right, the horse wanted to go left, so it's a useless feature. And you need to constantly press shift. That also sucks.
Geralt, just when I was starting to miss you.
The old witch who lived here left you a bunch of interesting sundries.
She did indeed. I gather you'd like a look.
Very much so.
Oh, holy... Well, she has a lot of diagrams. What is that? Potion of clearance. Ah, returns all ability points. Yeah, we don't need that. Crater, runestone, glyphs. How did... Oh... Venom extract. Northern wind. Explosion impact. Short lure. Yeah, we don't need that. Onward.
Got those, substances you wanted?
Splendid. I can finally begin my study of double arboreal racination patterns. But first, I'll...
Brew yourself a mug of mulled wine? Saw what the wagon was carrying. Exquisite meats, expensive wines, Zerrikanian spices. Not a speck of magic. Care to tell me what you're up to?
I would rather show you, but you must wait a bit.
Color me intrigued. Fine, I'll wait.
Then shoo, outside.
Gonna slip into something more comfortable?
Later. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, go on, out. You've been patient, thank you. It's almost ready.
Huh? If I wanted to see white mice, I'd just get drunk.
Note that I said almost. Now don't interrupt. Became Vin Cathel.
Third mouse. What happened to it?
The spell has a 66.67% chance of success. I always use one more than I need, just in case.
So where did... Kira, can I explain what's going on here?
Know the fairy tale about Cinderella?
Mm-hmm. True story it's based on, too. A Zoogle cropped up in a palace pond and ate Princess Cinderella whole. Left behind one slipper, so...
I beg you, not another word about Zoogles. Now, to return to the fairy tale, I'd like to escape these ghastly swamps for one magical night. I don't need a fairy godmother, I'll cast the spells myself. But I could use a Prince Charming. It just so happens you're the only decent candidate in all Velen. So, what do you say to a moonlight ride on horseback? And dinner?
Sounds tempting. So tempting, I don't think I can refuse.
Before we go, there's one more thing.
Gotta transform a pumpkin into a carriage?
No. I shall transform our rancid rags into something more glamorous. Don't wince. It'll only be an illusion, won't hurt a bit. And at dawn, everything will return to normal.
Why not? Might as well go all out.
Then hold on tight. Gavella Glan. So, what do you think? Neckline too modest?
It's just right.
Oh, I might also have changed your hair colour while I was at it. I've always fancied dark-haired men. Oh well, any port in a storm. Well, off we go. Dinner's waiting. Last one there does the dishes.
Should we let her win?
There's something here. Need to use the eye.
Congratulations. You'd make an excellent jockey.
If only I were a foot shorter and 5 stone lighter.
Well, yes. But then I'd not have invited you here. Now do you see why I needed those substances?
Beef and cinnamon and cloves, roasted capon with shallots. It was worth the trouble.
Shall I pour the white or the...
Dry red, but let it breathe a little first.
Well, well, never took you for a wine connoisseur.
Think witchers suck the marrow out of drowner bones and wash it down with puddle water?
More or less. Well, we've chatted long enough on empty stomachs. Let's dig in.
Must have cost you a small fortune. Sure you don't need me to pitch in?
Please, I manage. You know, a dozen eggs here, a cock or gander there. Besides, my finances are about to improve.
How, if you don't mind my asking? I mean, you'd think the only work to be had in Velen would be in farming.
Very true. So, I've 2 options. I can either start cultivating turnips or leave. But that's not what I wish to discuss. Thank you once again, Geralt, for your help with the tower. You were fabulous.
Not the first curse I've lifted.
But among the most difficult, correct? What happened on that island? Why, I shiver at the thought. And the laboratory. I sincerely hope you burnt everything. The cages, the corpses, the papers.
All right, let's get down to business.
What are you talking about?
Sex. That's why we're here, isn't it?
You may know about wine, but you remain quite unsophisticated otherwise. That's very good, because boars are much better in bed. Now, close your eyes and count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's enough. Kira, wanna play hide and seek? Why not? A skirt? Guess we're playing hunt the hare, not hide and seek. Good. Won't have to fumble with fasteners. Shame. Could have kept her shoes on. Now where's that Cinderella gone to?
Found me. Congratulations.
Do I get a prize?
I've nothing on me, but I'll think of something. Know what they call that constellation in Zerrikania?
Dragon something, I bet.
No, it has a different name, but indecent, actually. Lean closer and I'll whisper it in your ear. Egfain Navir.
Kira? Where? Put me to sleep with a spell. Means she's up to something. Fyke Isle. The tower.
Well, is there a quest for her? Ah! The Peller. And Kira. Sure, why not? First we have a quest here. Wait, where are my boots? The heck? What is this? Boots and gloves. 3, 7, 11. I remember this storyline and this romance, but I had the memory that the scene at the beach was with Jennifer, not with Hero.
What are you doing here?
What? The sun flying from the moon? We're making offerings to the All-God, clearly.
You too can seek his aid. That's if you got fitting offerings. He scorned ours, then cursed the old village.
The All-God, you call him. First I've heard. Is some new deity?
Nay, 'tis ancient, revered by our forefathers. They say it were like this. Roslav of Oriton came here to gather brushwood. Suddenly, for no reason, a bush burst into flame. Then, Roslav heard a voice from the ground, demanding offerings and obedience.
We've been coming here since then, bearing gifts, in exchange for which the All-God watches over us, keeps us from evil.
Plain to see that. So, what's wrong with your offerings?
You needn't mock us, you can see right well we brought scraps. Before the war, I wouldn't give this such to me elms. But what can we do? Such are the times.
And they're like to get worse. All-God said if he don't get a rafter of bacon and a barrel of beer at least, the rivers will fill up with frogs and locusts or some such will devour the harvest.
I could intercede on your behalf with this All-God of yours. Got a feeling we'd come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. To speak with him, you have to stand before the altar and cry out, All-God, help a poor wretch in need. Who knows, he might just listen to a foreigner.
A greedy god.
Oh, All-God, help a poor wretch in need. Pretty please.
How dare you disturb my divine rest, mortal?
I dare disturb it because I want your divine self to lift the, curse you cast. Those peasants really don't have.
They must bring worthy offerings or they shall face drought, driving hail, earthquakes, avalanches. I have spoken.
Avalanches? Here? How would that work? No answer from the All-God. Fine, we can finish our conversation when I find him. Voice came from underground. A crack. Too small to pass through, but big enough for sound to come out. Wine. More like vinegar. Someone drank it anyway. Could follow the scent. Someone placed an illusion here.
What the fuck is that?
What? Who dares disturb my divine being?
Geralt of Rivia. Pleasure. Expected the All-God to be corporeal in form, but never thought he'd be corpulent. Fattened up nicely at those peasants' expense.
Expense? Expense? Not a word about the help I give in return. Blessings, absolutions, enlightened advice. Believe me, these folks need all of it. I'd watch over them still if they fulfilled their end. But lately they offer these pathetic scraps.
That they steal from the mouths of their children, and to make matters worse, you cast a curse on them.
And I'll not lift it till they bring me worthy offerings. I'm to settle for curds and whey? Not a chance. And you can tell them that.
Been in this hole long?
For a century or so. One winter I found shelter here. Built a fire so large the flames leapt through the crack, lit the bushes above. I coughed from the smoke, and suddenly heard a peasant. A voice out of nowhere, he called. A miracle. Thus, I became a god.
Parasite, more like.
Maybe so. But what of Freya and Melitele then, Demanding prayers and offerings, given naught in return? I talk at least.
Well, there's some truth to that.
Listen here, lard ass. You're gonna be satisfied with what you get, or I'll feed you to the ravens.
Plowing reformers. No, fine. I'll sup more modestly. But just till the end of the war, not one day longer.
Amerithium ingot, damn. Here's the good stuff. Radovid the Fifth, the Stern, the Heart's Lock to Greatness. X-Men boots? Which brings us to the epithet of the current ruler of Redania, the Stern. Allow me to diagnose the causes and consequences of this appellation. Firstly, the seeds of Radovid's sternness were surely planted in his childhood, when Radovid was born to King Vizimir and Queen Hedwig. In 1255, his care was immediately entrusted to Philippa Eilhart, the court sorceress. Philippa Eilhart, I've heard that name before. You two, while none dared question if she was fit for the role of tutor, few now envisage her as having been a warm caregiver to a young child, and whatever harsh lessons she gave Radovid clearly left a lasting mark. The next step on Radovid's path to becoming the Stern, the death of his father when Radovid was but 13 years of age, though rumour has it father and son barely knew one another. The mere fact of being thrust into one's inheritance at such an early age and in such murky circumstances must have a hardening effect. Finally, the Regency finished schooling Radovid towards becoming the Stern, led by Sigismund Dijkstra of Tredogor. The Regency Council imparted upon Radovid a style of politics seeped in Dijkstra's aggressive, no-holds-barred, reason-of-state-first principles. Oh dear. Such are the causes of Radovid's temperament. You know, there was the king, where Dijkstra killed the mages that were trying to poison him. Dijkstra, Netflix series, the dude was a cool bird. The owl. It was an owl, I believe. Maybe you should rewatch it. Now on the consequences. Now on to the consequences. Most manifestations of his fierce manner are well known, however a few illustrative examples might prove useful here. They include his summoning of the Order of the Flaming Rose to be his armed enforcers, his later support for the witch hunters in their zealous care, and finally there is the massacre at Loch Muin. Yet it is in the fight against Nilfgaard that Radovid has proven himself truly the Stern. While the forces of other realms disintegrated in the face of the Empire's onslaught, he has strengthened his own realm and taken command of the joined armies of the North. Whatever their opinion of him before, all clear-eyed observers now agree Radovid V, known also as Radovid the Stern, is the North's last bulwark against Emir's expanding power.
Maybe you'd care to go up top, see if you're still there.
Anything new?
Talk to your old god, face to face.
And will he show us mercy?
He will. Promise to be pleased with whatever you bring.
I told you the All God's merciful understanding. Thanks, Witcher.
Oh, one last thing. Did you know there's a crypt beneath this hill? Might want to take a look sometime. Architecture's fascinating.
Top of the day.
More like a creepy god, but a goody one as well. Oxenfoot. Crow's Perch. Starting line. Fists of Fury. No, we're going for that quest line. But that's a story for another time.